Hi, I'm Dr. Luc, best-selling author of The Winning Way and founder of the Whole Body Wellness Center. I want to begin by congratulating you because while most people are sitting at home right now complaining about their health, complaining about how they're sick, they're tired, they have no energy, they're just sitting around complaining about it. But you actually took that first step. Watching this video is that first step, and that tells me that you're the type of person that's committed to making change. So congratulations, I want to commend you for that, because that's how we're going to take you from where you are to where you want to be. You see, it's not your fault that you're sick. Obviously, you're watching this because you have some type of condition. What I want you to understand is that regardless of the condition's name, I want you to start understanding that all conditions are simply a sign of imbalance in the human body. Whether that's headaches, allergies, Crohn's, colitis, fibromyalgia, chronic ear infections, it really doesn't matter what the condition is. I want you to start looking at the body as a whole and understanding that a condition of any sort, regardless of the name, is simply a sign of imbalance. And really, when you think about it, the word disease, when you really stop and you break that word down, dis-ease. The word itself explains this concept. It's a lack of ease in the body. It's a sign that your body chemistry is off and not allowing you to manifest and express health the way you should. So the question is, what is health? Obviously, you're watching this because you want to be healthy. And you know, it amazes me because I've lectured across North America, thousands of people, and I always ask this question, what is the definition of health? Because obviously, if that's something you're wanting to achieve, you're looking for, you should know the definition of it. And yet, almost 100% of the time, I find individuals that are looking for help, but they don't even know how to define it. So let's start with that, because that's the foundation that I think sets the principle for which you're going to understand how to overcome dis-ease and reclaim your power, recapture your health, and really revitalize your life. So health is not the absence of disease. That's what most people think of. They think, you know, you must be healthy if you don't have a symptom. You must be healthy if you look good, if your weight looks like it's intact. But the reality is you can look fine, you can feel fine, and you can have some form of disease that's developing in your body silently. You know, you look at the statistics. Cancer, for example, on average, when they do a biopsy on a cancer growth, it's been there for 5 to 8 years. So that 5 to 8 year period where that individual felt fine, they had no lump, no blood in their stools, they felt fine, they thought they were healthy, but the reality is they weren't. Just because they felt fine, they weren't healthy. Someone who dies of a massive heart attack, you hear people talk about this all the time. He was so healthy, and yet, boom, he dropped dead of a heart attack. Well, obviously, last week when he felt fine and he was going to work and doing the things he wanted to do, that individual was far from being healthy. The arteries were being clogged up, and a massive heart attack was pending, but they had no idea it was coming. So I want you to get this idea of health and symptoms meaning something together. I want you to get that idea out of your head. What's really important is to understand that health is when your body is functioning at 100%. That's the definition of health. When every blood vessel, every tissue, every organ, everything in your body is functioning the way it was designed to, by definition, you're healthy. So what is a lack of health then? A lack of health is when perfect function becomes dysfunction. That's all a disease is. And you're watching this right now because you're struggling with something. And like I said earlier, regardless of that name, that condition, whether it's arthritis, sciatica, colicky babies, it really doesn't matter what the condition is. It's an imbalance. There's dysfunction in your body. So the next question logically is, if health is about function, then how do you evaluate function? Because if that's what health is about, you should know how your body's functioning. And most people have no idea how the body's functioning. And so when you stop and you look at it, open up any medical textbook, and what you'll see is that the central nervous system controls and coordinates everything in the human body. So, as you can see in this diagram, The nerves that are exiting from your spine are going to your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, your spleen. Literally, everything that's happening in your body right now is related to how well your nervous system is functioning. That's it. So if health is about function, the nervous system controls all function and coordinates everything in the human body. You know, right now your heart is beating, you don't have to think about it. You're breathing, you don't have to think about that. You're digesting the meal you had a few hours ago, you don't have to think about that. Your immune system is constantly in search, even as we speak, of abnormal cells, abnormal tissues. It's destroying pathogens. Everything in this body is being controlled and coordinated right now by your brain sending messages down your spine and out into all these tissues, organs, blood vessels. That's what keeps you alive, and that's what keeps you healthy, as long as your nervous system is functioning the way it should be. And that's where our wellness center comes into the equation beautifully, because we have a state-of-the-art machine. It's one of the world's most advanced nerve scans, where I can actually analyze how every one of those nerves is functioning. Because if that's what being healthy is about, you should know how your nervous system's functioning. You know, right now, you can't close your eyes and say, how's my liver functioning? I think it's functioning at 83%. There's no way of doing that. There's no way of closing your eyes and trying to think and feel how the nervous system is functioning. You know, if you want to know your cholesterol levels, you have to do what? You have to go for blood work. If you want to know your blood pressure, then you need to get a blood pressure reading. If you want to look at brainwave activity, then you need an EEG. So you need different technology to be able to evaluate these things. And it's the same thing when you want to evaluate how well the nervous system is functioning. There's technology that exists. And based on my understanding, I have patients that travel from Cap, Hearst, Chapleau, Wawa. They're traveling literally 2, 3, 4 hours to come to our wellness center because I have technology where I can evaluate how well your central nervous system is functioning. What we find with that test is completely revolutionary because we find the underlying cause of many health conditions. You know, I have people coming in here that have been struggling for 10, 15, 20 years with the same condition and constantly being told, you know, it's something you're going to have to learn to live with. It's something you're going to have to take this pill for the rest of your life. There's no solution that we know of in modern medicine for your condition. Sorry to tell you that, but it's a permanent disease, if you will. These are scenarios, these are stories I hear from people every single day in my wellness center. And it frustrates me because it's the furthest thing from the truth. All that means is that there's nothing that anyone you've consulted with so far can do for you. That's all it means. You know, I have people coming in here that are overcoming all types of conditions. Why? Because my nerve scan detects with accuracy the underlying cause of why there's dysfunction in the body, why there's dis-ease, why there's an imbalance in the body's chemistry that leads to weight gain, leads to depression, leads to skin conditions, heartburn, insomnia, all types of issues. Like I said, regardless of what the disease condition is, because I know all of you watching this right now are so different. All of you are watching this with very unique imbalances. But the reality is, one imbalance in the nervous system can lead to your condition. So what I want to let you know is that, based on my understanding, we're the only clinic in Northern Ontario with this. So if you want to come into our wellness center and take advantage of this, basically what we do on day one, you come in, we sit down, we have a discussion, I review your health history with you, I do a comprehensive examination to figure out what's going on with your nervous system. We do the nerve scan I just talked about. The beauty of that scan as well is that we get the results the same day. I don't send you home to never hear from me. So we sit down together, I do a report of findings. I explain to you what I'm finding on the nerve scan. If the nerve scan looks clear and everything looks great, then I'll tell you about that. And I'll send you off on your way and I'll try and help you find someone who can help you. Because what I specialize in is first of all the detection and then the correction of these imbalances in the nervous system. So if I don't detect any imbalances, then obviously I can't help you, and I'll tell you that on this initial consultation. But if I do find any imbalance in your nervous system, we're going to look at that, we're going to evaluate the severity, and then we're going to put a game plan together that works to correct that imbalance and to help you achieve those levels of health you deserve and give you that quality of life that you're looking for. That's exactly what we do in the Wellness Center here. We specialize in this. I also have a computerized foot scan because obviously your feet are your body's foundation. Imbalances in the feet will lead to imbalances in the spine, causing this interference in the nervous system as well. So these are all things we're going to look at together. All of this, evaluation, consultation, report of findings, computerized nerve scan, computerized foot scan, your initial correction to start balancing this back out. If you add all of this up, it's a value of $267 with the free gifts and stuff I'm going to give you as well, because all my new patients get 3 copies of my best-selling books. You're going to get a video series as well that's going to help you understand how to achieve higher levels of health, as well as the examination, nerve scan, and everything we just talked about. So when you add all of that up, it's a value of $267. But because you're watching this video right now, I want to give you a gift. I want to make health as affordable. I don't want price to be an obstacle for you, preventing you from coming in and taking advantage of this technology. So right below this video, you'll see a blue button. If you click on that button, you can download a $200 gift certificate as well as the books and other gifts that I promised you. That $200 gift certificate, bring it into our wellness center, and my assistant will discount that $267 value down to $67. That's it. So for a $67 investment, I can analyze and look at all of this for you. And even, let's put it this way, even if you didn't have this $200 gift certificate, if the value was truly $267 when you came in, you had to pay that. Let me ask you if that would be worth getting rid of your headaches, or if that price, $267 investment, would be worth getting rid of your sciatica, your heartburn, your depression, whatever it is that you're struggling with. Would you not be willing to pay $267 to find solutions to these problems? I imagine you're nodding your head yes right now, because that's a ridiculously affordable investment to be able to get rid of this condition, if we can find the underlying cause, of course. So at $67, it's ridiculously affordable. I'm making this affordable for everyone. I don't know how long I'll be doing this, so I want you to take advantage of this now. Click on the blue button below the video, download your free gifts, and call our clinic today. Book your appointment, because obviously I only have so many limited spots where I can take new patients. The clinic is extremely busy and I can't accommodate thousands of people. So depending on the volume, I may have to pull this offer at some point and just accommodate those who jumped on it first. So I encourage you to do that right now. I think below that button, there's also another button. If you're watching this on your cell phone, I think you can click that button and it'll directly call the clinic so that you can book your appointment as well. The last thing I want to tell you about, this is super exciting. It's something I've been doing for the last month or so. I've been doing a webinar where if you are the type of individual, because I know there's some of you watching that really want to understand exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. This webinar is about an hour in length, and I will deep dive and explain to you the ins and outs of what we're doing, how to computerize nerve scan, the science behind it. It's a phenomenal webinar. If you want to really deep dive and see what that's about, sign up for this webinar. Again, I don't know how long I'll be doing that, so take advantage of that while it's up and available. You'll see that below this video as well. As you're scrolling through that webinar section, there's also a couple of videos from patients that have come to our wellness center and they've had phenomenal health transformations. So if you want to watch their story, by all means, watch their story, listen to it, and that'll help you understand exactly what we're doing here. The last thing I want you to understand, because I know this is probably going through your mind right now, is, okay, once you detect the imbalance, how do you correct it? So I'm going to explain to you, I'll show you actually the technique that I use. It's a tool, it's a very, very gentle tool, and it's a chiropractic instrument. So for those of you who don't know my background, I'm actually a doctor of chiropractic. And so what I specialize in is a very unique technique. The technique, as you can see on the video here, it's very gentle. So as opposed to the idea or the image that a lot of people have when they think of chiropractic, they often think of the chiropractor twisting and turning and jumping on you. They have this visual of chiropractic being very aggressive and a technique that hurts maybe. But you'll see here, like I say, the technique that I use is revolutionary. The force is so little that I've used it on newborn babies who actually sleep throughout the adjustment. It's gentle, that gentle that they don't even wake up during the adjustment. And I've used it all the way up to 96-year-old grandmother who was osteoporotic. Her bones were very, very weak. She was frail. And even she could handle it. So obviously from newborns to 96-year-olds, I work on all types of children, adults, athletes, all types of individuals from all walks of life. So that's something that I think is also important for you to understand, is that the technique that I specialize in is absolutely different from what most people have in their mind as far as what chiropractic is. I also do traditional techniques. I know there are some individuals that like the traditional techniques. I'm actually certified in 12 techniques. So regardless of what your preferences are, my goal is to help you achieve higher levels of health. Regardless of what that technique is, we'll discuss that on your initial consultation. You let me know if it's something you want to explore, the new techniques, or if you want to stick to the more traditional ones. They all work. Let's figure out what works best for you. So again, I encourage you to click that blue button below the video, download your free gifts, call our clinic today, and if you want to sign up for that webinar that's coming up in the next few days, do that as well. Until we meet, my friend, I want you to go out there each and every day and reclaim your power, recapture your health, and revitalize your life.